few years ago, my background is sport. Football is my main thing. And a few years ago, we realized, and it dawned on us, that there was a lot of people who are based outside of Africa, representing other countries outside of Africa, and who have no links whatsoever to their roots in Africa. This is not to downplay the fact that, okay, where they represent, where they choose to represent is good enough, but there's also the fact that sometimes you need to bring them to make them aware of the fact that they belong somewhere and they have the choice and the option to either represent where they come from originally or where they live. So we launched Africa Sport in Diaspora, I think that was in 2013. I've had a few success stories, you know, quite a few football players, athletes from all over the world who suddenly came to realize that, oh, we've got roots in Africa, we can go back to Africa and represent our country of origin. And I can start dropping names now, and it would look like I'm doing the name dropping, but there are people that make me proud, like Victor Moses, like Alex Iwobi, like Romana Lualua, you know, from various parts of Africa who played in the English Premier League. Abia Yekwitan in athletics. They played in the Olympics for Great Britain, and then all of a sudden we're giving them, opening the lights to them and saying, you can represent your country of origin. There's nothing wrong with it. So, taking it from there, we decided that in wider spheres and in wider circles, we can do exactly the same. We can actually align Africa to people out here who are doing great stuff in other sectors of society beyond sport, in politics, in education, in science, in the economy, in medicine, everywhere. There's African talent everywhere. And because there are, we need to recognize them. We need to stand up tall, not only because we want to do the celebration that we're doing right now, which is good. It's good because we want to shout out. You know, when we go to a lot of these Africa or Black Lives Matter or whatever events, we sit down and we hear a lot about the negative part. Oh, the police stopped me, they were being ruthless towards me, they were not being nice to me, and all that. Oh, I was arrested for no reason. And the stories are, you come into the venues of these places and you feel worse than when you came in, when you're going back out. But there's a lot to also shout about with Africa. There's a lot of success stories out there in Africa. There's a lot of great people who are doing actually good stuff, who have come from Africa, that we need to celebrate. And that's the first thing. We need to build within ourselves a community that is proud that we are Africans and we're happy to be Africans, and we are achievers, we're success stories, left, right, and center. There's them all over the place. And that's the first thing. Secondly, a lot of us left Africa in the state that Africa is at the moment, which, for want of a better word, is not great. But we leave Africa and we feel, yeah, that's it, Africa, I'm now in this place, I'm now in this comfort zone, I'm happy in England, I'm happy in America, and I'm happy to be where I am. And we forget about what we left behind. Now, some of us care about what we left behind, and we want to make an impact back in Africa and do great stuff. Where there's correction that is needed, we don't always have to blame governments and the established authority. We can do what we can in our own little way. And this united movement, that's why I call it Africa United. I hated the name because of the United that is there, because I don't like Manchester United. But it's a united front, an Africa United front in diaspora to celebrate ourselves, but also to take back to Africa. I've got 5 eminent people. You ask me why am I doing this in Basingstoke? The Africa United Diaspora was launched and registered and acknowledged by the United Nations. It's on the back of the United Nations that they gave me this wonderful doctorate degree that's making me feel a little bit groggy at the moment because I only just got back from receiving it yesterday from the United Nations Education Council, but also in the African Union. So it's a global movement. So why are we here, only 10 of us, celebrating it? Because I'm from Basingstoke. And charity, they say, begins at home. And I want to first of all make my roots first firm before I go out there and spread the word. I've got eminent people here, people that I look at, that I'm very proud of, that I'm proud. And it's so funny that when I now throw it out and say to people, go out there and nominate people for us to see what we can do. These names of people that I actually like, I like them, even if they don't like me much. Even if they don't like me much. And the people that have, their names kept coming up in the nomination stakes, which means either they're doing something right, or they've paid a few people to nominate them, or it is true that they're truly wonderful people. There are 5 of them. 3 of them are here, 2 could not make it, but they will be getting the award anyway in the future. So, without much ado, I will proceed to talk about the people that are with us, that have been given, that will be given the award. First and foremost, I'll have to start with our chief host. That is His Worship the Mayor. Mayor Dan Putty. It's very weird because I asked to use the mayor's power as I do for a few of my events in the different hats that I wear, and I wear quite a few. I then learned that David Leaks was leaving, which is understandable, and the new mayor was coming in. When I realized who the new mayor was going to be, careful, I just broke. When I learned who the new mayor was going to be, I got caught in 2 minds. What do I do? Now here's a gentleman who, a lot of the times, as in spirit of community, will drift down to my house because he doesn't live far away from me. And I'm never around. Never, ever. There's a couple of times when I've been around, but being on calls or in business meetings, you know this Zoom thing and what it does to you sometimes. I'll be on Zoom, so I'll be seeing him from the camera in the study, and I'm thinking, oh, he's here again, and I can't see him. And many of the times, I'm away. A lot of the times I'm away because I'm away with my football business. So if I say I want to come and see him, is it not going to take it out on me that I've not been able to see him since he's been coming to my house? Should I press ahead with it? I decided I was going to. He's of Mauritian descent. He is an African, one to be proud of. He goes back and forth to Mauritius a lot. And he's not one of those ones who forgot about Africa. So he fits the bill, he ticks all the boxes. And I'd like to give it up for him. Mayor Dan Putty, please. And after the host, I will now go with protocol, ladies first. And I'm going to go with Effie Blanton. I mean, I'm going to give her a round of applause if nobody else does. Effie epitomizes passion for everything she goes into. Passion to a point where you feel like, yeah, almost unfolds sometimes. But she's got passion. And she's got passion for Africa, passion for the black race, passion for community, passion for people. It's only natural and normal that when we're talking about people, leaders in Basingstoke who actually will be the front of Basingstoke in this community, in the African community, if we don't put Effie in the top 5, then we're doing a disservice to mankind. Therefore, Effie Blanton. And what can I say? The other person, Olufemi. Yes? Olu. Yes. Well, everybody call him Anthony. Anthony. We all know Anthony. Anthony, principal of Basingstoke College of Technology, the only or one of very few black principals of any college in this country. A real solid rock in the community of Basingstoke. I see him, when I'm around, when I'm in the country, I see Anthony on average maybe 3 times a week at different events. There's none that he doesn't attend. Yet, he still runs a college and runs it successfully. Now, I don't know how he does it, because I won't be able to. And he gives as good as it gets. I was in college one day. I happened to also manage his college football team. Bunch of rascals those days. I was in college one day. I got a visitor's tag. You need to give me a staff badge. And I got there and I was supposed to have my visitor's thing around my neck. But because I wear my jewelry a lot, I love my jewelry a lot, so I don't like anything to corrode it. So I don't put it on, I just hold it in my hand. I just heard this booming voice behind me, Tunde Adelakun. I was in college one day. I got a visitor's tag. You need to give me a staff badge. And I got there and I was supposed to have my visitor's thing around my neck. But because I wear my jewelry a lot, I love my jewelry a lot, so I don't like anything to corrode it. So I don't put it on, I just hold it in my hand. I just heard this booming voice behind me, Tunde, and I'm like, well, next time it's got to be Dr. Tunde, otherwise I would not respond to it. And he said, Tunde, you've got to put that on, man. And I'm like, God, he told me off. Publicly too. So I just had to slide it on. So he runs the college successfully. And what's more, what he's doing in the Basingstoke community was not recognized only in Basingstoke. The nation recognized it. And he's got an OB. I'm jealous. Anthony has Nigerian roots, and everybody of African descent, he doesn't show preferential treatment, but they do identify with him, and he identifies with them. And that's enough for us to say he's well worthy of this award, especially because a lot of people nominated him. I don't understand. How did you pay?
Yes.
A lot of people.
Yes.
So, yeah, he deserves it. So, thank you very much. I think there's there's 2 other people who are not here. Charlotte Nightingale, a stalwart community leader that Paul can tell us a little bit more. Can you come and tell us about Charlotte?
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you very much, Tunde, for putting on the award ceremony. It's been fantastic. Well done to all the award winners, well deserving. And my friend Charlotte Nightingale, I know she could not attend, but congratulations to her. She's a proud Ghanaian, very passionate about people, community and culture. Fantastic. She runs a Tech Night Ghanaian charity for women and children in Ghana. She's been that for many years. 2 weeks ago, her daughter stood in for her at the Black Success Initiative community engagement discussion, and she gave a real good rundown of the charity over many years. I can't remember how many years now, but so many years that she's been working in the UK and Ghana to better, to improve the facilities and the arrangements, the education, health and culture of our home country, Ghana. And it was ironic though that I went to Ghana last year with my family for the first time. I shared the stories with Effie and Sam and Anthony about how great Ghana was, my first time, traveling around the Accra region, Cape Coast. And it was really nice to actually share that history and culture. So when I came back, I spent like 2 or 3 hours talking to Charlotte about it, and she's really happy for me that I've been to Ghana, and she's also been to Jamaica, where my family are from, and so we reciprocated culture. So that's the power of the woman that she is, and if there's an award, I'll collect it for her and take it for her. So that is Charlotte Nightingale, and also her daughter, Savannah Nightingale, is also an ambassador as well, and a broadcaster, following her mother and father's footsteps. So congratulations to Charlotte Nightingale.
And the other person who could not be here as well is Ubana Oyet. Ubana is very, very unassuming, very quiet gentleman. And you know, when you go to Parliament or when you watch the King's procession or opening of Parliament or closing of Parliament, as it were, you see people, you see this big guy in a uniform leading the MPs in or leading them out or leading the king in, and you just think he's just one of those police officers that have just been dressed up. He's the sergeant at arms at the UK Parliament. It's quite an important position. He carries everything, and it's just amazing that he is of Nigerian origin. Not only is he of Nigerian origin, but he cares about Nigeria. And I had a meeting with him some time ago, and I was actually thrown. He didn't have the time and he didn't have the platform. The sort of stuff that Effie and Charlotte are doing, and by the way, Effie and Charlotte, let me add, until I see Nigeria beat Ghana in football, in competitive football, I'm not going to be your friends. Because the last time they did Nigeria out of qualification for this last World Cup, and it's unforgivable. But having said that, the kind of work that Charlotte and Effie are doing in Ghana, which is commendable, Ubana wants to do back in Nigeria. He didn't have the platform until we came to him. And we said to him, you know what, we're going to support you. We're going to help because you have a deep passion for it. Ubana can't be here. He was going to be here. The Effie are doing in Ghana, which is commendable. Ubana wants to do back in Nigeria. He didn't have the platform until we came to him. And we said to him, you know what, we're going to support you. We're going to help because you have a deep passion for it. Ubana can't be here. He was going to be here. And then Prime Minister made the announcement he made yesterday. And that they were going to dissolve Parliament and all that, and then it went into 0 to 100 within 12 hours. So he is very, very busy. Parliament will be dissolved, I think, today or tomorrow, and he is right neck deep in it. You know, like I said, when we knew who he was, I thought he was just one of them police sergeants that, you know, you see in the streets. This guy has an office bigger than my house, with staff, with PAs, with people organizing his schedule and all that stuff. And I'm like, but that's how life works. And he is a source of pride for us. We're proud of him. We're proud that he managed, because he's an engineer, but he managed to brave all the odds and come out where he has come out. And has braved the politics, has braved the discrimination, has braved everything, and landed where he has landed. We're proud of him. He will be here, and he will be here to pick up his award himself after dissolution of Parliament. When I can manage to put my feet on the ground and be back in the UK myself, I'll come and present to them. So I need just to give a round of applause for it. It's not a lot, but I hope you find a place to hold it in this wonderful parlor or in your office or wherever. Yeah. But this honestly is in recognition of your representation of Africa. Doing the work that you do for the community of Basingstoke, but also making us proud. You're making us proud. You're inspiring younger generations that, you know, if you can do it, they can as well. It's not impossible. Yeah. You know, my motto is, and I'm sure people have heard it before, is to aspire to inspire before you expire. Yeah. And that's exactly what you're doing. You've made the aspiration, you're here, you're inspiring before you expire. Yeah. And I tell you what, the religious part of me says, by the grace of God, you'll still be here for a long time. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Professor. Hold it there, hold it.
Tunde.
Okay.
Hello. Look at the color. Just look at the color.
Jamaica color.
Jamaica color. Seeing me with a Ghanaian is, I mean, taking a photo and smiling. I'll tell you what.
Smile.
Passion, you capture grace, you capture elegance, but you also have a warm heart. That heart is not just a heart for your children, your family, and the few friends that you have that you don't call no to. And it also goes beyond, it goes to people in Africa, where you come from. You never leave them alone. You never let them walk alone. It's your pride, source of pride. Source of pride shows in Africa. We want more of it. It's not enough to say that Effie, oh, she did well, she's doing okay, and that's the end of it. We want you to continue to inspire more, that a lot more of us emerge, a lot more Effie black sons emerge in this world that we live in. This world is cruel. We've got a very, very wicked world. But we've also got a world of the needy. There's a lot of things that are needed in this our world. And we need people like you to show us that encouragement, to show us that desire that you actually, they can make it. Because you've made it. And a lot of people can draw inspiration from you. So thank you very much for the work that you're doing. You're making us very, very proud. And you know, when we play football, and we're running, we go for a run, and we're chasing down the opponent, and the coach is saying, well done, Tunde, keep going, keep going. I don't know where the energy comes from, we go more. But when people don't recognize it, when they don't notice it, when they don't spot it, then you don't find the inspiration, you don't find the drive to keep going. So we're egging you and saying, keep going, Effie. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Next one that's coming, in a few years, will be Sir. Not that yet, but getting close. Getting close. Yeah. Anthony Bravo. What can I say about this man? Anthony is, I mean, a moving inspiration. You know, he doesn't need to say anything. He walks into anywhere and you see positivity. I run a place with one of the other hats that I wear called The Positive Place, where I bring people in and give them mental strength. Whatever situation they find themselves in, come here, come to me, and I'll make you feel better, however bad it is. And I wish I could employ him, but I can't afford him because I do a lot of talking in order to get people to where I want them to get to. So when they come in, I sit them down, I listen to their issues, I listen to their problems, and I then help. And I say what I have to say to them. He doesn't need to say anything. He just comes in, and the inspiration is there. Because if you see his drive, if you see his energy, if you see the positivity, if you see that he's always... Do you ever get angry?
I hope not, because I'm too big to get angry.
No, there you go. When you see the positivity that evolves from this man, you can't but follow suit. And he's got a passion, a heart. He didn't need to tell us that he was African, but he told us because he has a heart for Africa. He is a pride of Africa. We're proud of you. And we want more of you. We want to inspire more of you to come up in the academic field, in other fields, in the sports field. For goodness sake, I need a really good one that will go beyond playing days. And we need a lot more of Anthony that can help society, help the local community, help people, and make them feel confident and positive with what they're doing. You're changing lives. By being principal of a college, I wish I was. Everybody that comes into that college and passes out and goes out owes it to you, whether they accept it or they don't. Because there are certain policies that you put in place that probably would have helped them on their journey, or probably truncated that journey if the policies were not in place. So for that reason, you are an inspiration to many, and we celebrate you. On top of it, like I said, we must be doing something right. If Basingstoke recognizes it, but the nation recognizes it as well. He went to the palace. This thing, he flashed it at me, and I was green with envy as soon as I saw it. I was like, what have you got there? When did you get it? Oh, I got it 2 weeks ago, he went. We're proud of you. This town is proud of you. It doesn't even mean Africa. The town is proud of you. And then when we now take it down to where we come, you know, when children do great stuff, we're all proud of them. When it's on the other side, we start to think, where exactly did you say he was from again? Oh, no. He's not Nigerian. He's already relinquished his Nigerian citizenship. He's now British. It's only when the story is bad. Your story is good. And that's why we identify with you. Congratulations.